Do you ever feel behind in investing like everybody else has the playbook except you? And somehow they know the language, they know the moves, they know what to ask, and you're still trying to figure out where to begin? People throw around the words strategy, leverage, cash flow, subject to, seller financing, and you're still there thinking, what does that even mean? Why does it matter? How do I not fall behind? If that's you, this episode's for you. Because by the end of this video, you're going to walk away with a clearer lens and a stronger mindset and a simple framework that you can actually stop feeling scattered and start feeling centered and focused. So this is not only for motivation, this is practical, this is perspective, this is a reset. And if this is your first time here, my name is Mando. Welcome to the Investor DELI podcast, where we make the information the star. And before we get into anything, shout out to today's sponsor, Creative Listing. Creative Listing is a platform built around real deal flow, creative finance deals, seller finance deals, subject to deals, opportunity that many traditional investors never even got to get exposed to. I'm proud to be a part owner of it, and I'm proud to have them support our podcast. Now let's get into it. Here's the first thing I need you to hear. You are not behind just because you're learning. You're ahead because you care enough to learn. Most people avoid discomfort. Most people avoid looking foolish. I get it. Most people avoid the work it takes to grow. The magic is in the work you're avoiding, and you didn't. You're here, and that matters, because this episode is really about helping you think better, move better, and stop letting confusion cost you momentum. Take a breath, give yourself some credit, give yourself a pat on the back, because the people who win in the long term, they're not always the smartest people in the room. Don't get it twisted. They're usually the ones who stay in the room the longest. Now, let me say something that goes against a lot of the internet advice. You hear people say, stop caring, detach. Don't take it personal. I don't agree. I think caring is your edge. Caring is why you want more. Caring is why you want to improve. Caring is why you want to build something real for you and your family. Caring doesn't make you weak. It's the opposite. It makes you coachable. And if you stay with me through this episode, you're going to see why that matters so much. Because your biggest breakthrough may not be strategy first. It may be the way you interpret confusion. A lot of people think their problem is, I don't know enough. I'm not ready. I'm not good at business or investing. I don't understand the language. I'm too late. That's not the real problem. That's not the issue. The real problem is the minute people get confused, they lose confidence. They hear something unfamiliar and the mind tells them, yo, that's not for me. That's where they stop. But today we're going to change that, right? We're here for something different. And that's the one reason I want you to keep watching all the way through the end. Because once you understand the patterns, you stop making confusion mean defeat. You start using it as a part of your process. Because I've been around a lot of successful people, people with money, people with experience, people with those titles. And I realized something. They're not better than you. They're more willing to ask questions, though. They get out their own way. And that's it. They're willing to say, can you explain that to me again? Can you walk me through that? Help me understand the risk, because business isn't about sounding impressive. It's about understanding what matters. So here's the first habit I want you to build. Ask. Always seek knowledge. Shout out to Storm Leroy for coining that phrase. Ask the question. If you don't understand something, ask, what does that mean in plain English? How does that affect cash flow? What's the risk? What am I missing? Why is this structured that way? Those questions protect you. They save you time. They save you money. They help you become the kind of person you can actually operate with clarity. And if you're in real estate and business, this even matters more, because a lot of people only know one lane: traditional listings, traditional finance, traditional thinking. But there's another world out there, and that's creative financing. Deals where the seller may carry the financing. Deals where you take over subject to the current loan. Deals where the structure matters as much as the price. Now, I'm not telling you to jump into this complicated deals tomorrow. Take your time. I'm telling you to stay curious, though. Curiosity becomes your friend. Curiosity gives you confidence. The one reason creative listings matter, it gives people exposure to another side of deal flow. Not so you could pretend to be an expert, so you can learn the language, study the structure, start noticing patterns. That's how people really get to grow. And that's part of the payout in this episode as well. Not that you leave knowing everything, but that you leave knowing how to look at things different. If this is hitting home, type centered and focus in the comments so you know you're aligning with your assignment. And that's for you. So now you're learning, you're not panicking, and you're building. Now, here's a major point I want to emphasize. A lot of people do not fail because they lack the talent. They fail because they lose focus. They keep switching lanes. They keep chasing the next thing. They keep breaking their own rhythm. They keep drifting from the assignment. And every time you drift, you delay the progress. Every time you split your attention, you weaken your power. That's why staying centered matters to you. That's why staying focused matters to you. You don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to be everything. You need to be in the right place long enough for stuff to compound. That's a lesson that can change your whole trajectory. And if you really take it seriously, curiosity is your power, but curiosity needs a direction. Because if you're curious about everything, you can end up not committed to nothing. That happens. You don't need to learn everything, as I said, right now. I keep re-emphasizing a lot of these terms because I need you to stay centered and focused. You need to learn one thing and let it compound. So here are 3 habits, 3 reps I want you to start with. Number 1, learn again that one concept a day, not 10, just 1. Maybe today's cash flow, maybe tomorrow's reserves, maybe the next day is seller financing, maybe after that is subject to. One concept, 1 clean rep, not 5 strategies, just 1 layer at a time. Number 2, ask a question. Ask 1 question a day that gets you a result. 1 question can save you from a bad decision. You can ask, what's the payment? What's the real risk? Why is the seller open to these terms? What repairs are being avoided? I'm looking at this opportunity or pressure. Number 3, you want to review weekly. You want to stay on top of things. You want to recap what you learned. And you ask yourself, what did I learn? What confused me? What am I starting to notice? Where did I stay focused? Where did I drift? And that's how confidence starts to build and gets real. Not through hype, not through pretending, through reps, reflection, and direction. Now let's talk about desperation. I call it hungry versus thirsty. Hungry says, I'm committed, I'm learning, I'm willing to be patient. Thirsty says, I need this to work right now. And thirsty the energy makes people reckless. They chase shiny things, they skip due diligence, they ignore the red flags, they say yes too fast. They step into deals they don't know over understand. And that's how people create long-term pain, trying to solve short-term pressures. Hunger moves different. Hunger says, I can stay disciplined long enough to build something real. And that's why your mindset matters. Mindset keeps you steady long enough to execute. That might be one of the biggest lessons in this whole episode, because if your mindset is unstable, your decisions will be unstable too. So here's your move. Pick 1 lane for the next 90 days. Stay on it. 1, stay in there. Just hang in there. Keep a calendar. Not until you get bored. Not until something shiny shows up. Not until somebody distracts you. Stay grinding. 1 lane. Maybe your lane is building a weekly plan. 1 goal, 3 tasks every week. Repetition. It's like working out. Get those reps in. Maybe your lane is outreach, follow-ups, studying, underwriting, sales, all those skills you need. Maybe your lane this week is deal review. And if you're in real estate, this is where creative listings can help. Not because you need a master creative finance overnight, because you could start doing reps fast and you could look at deals, read terms, notice patterns, ask better questions. You train your eye. That alone is a powerful habit. And you don't need all these strategies. That one that you keep repeating, and that compound effect starts showing up when you least expect it. So when in doubt, what you do, you recenter. Come back to the assignment, centered and focused. Come back to the lane you chose, because staying locked in is how results keep stacking. And if you're listening to this thinking, I still don't know my lane, that's cool. That's okay. You're still learning, right? That's why my one-on-one paid clarity session is for you. I look at your situation. I look at your strengths, your goals, and your timeline. Then in conjunction with you, I help you pick a lane so you can stop guessing and start moving. The link will be in my Stand store in the description. And if you want free support, you can also find my free mindset ebook in my Stand store as well. It'll be in the link. There's help for you to stay grounded, stay consistent, and keep moving when life gets noisy. And it's going to happen. So here's the takeaway. Stop saying I'm behind. Replace that. Replace that with I'm early and I'm building. And you made it this far. Here's the real payout. You don't need to know everything to move. You need clarity, you need reps, you need focus, and you need enough discipline to stay in one lane long enough to grow and to show up. Your marching orders are simple now. Learn one thing daily. Ask one good question daily. Apply one thing daily. Review weekly. Stay centered. Stay focused. Stay in your lane long enough to grow. It's imperative. That's how you become hard to stop. If this helps you, subscribe to this channel and share this with somebody who's been feeling left behind. And again, shout out to Creative Listing, our proud sponsor of the Investor Deli podcast. Type "Let's Build" in the comments if you made it to the end.